Titsmintsalad, and I saw Twisted Pair. It is directed by Neil Breen, and this was requested by a Patreon. If you'd like to fast track a movie review request, you can do that at patreon.com/ASCpresents. $20 for one movie review request. I can do anything you want. If you haven't seen this movie, I will spoil it for you. Oh boy, this movie starts... Yeah, it starts. It really does start. Oh boy, okay. This movie's, I'll have to admit, it's a little hard to talk about because the plot is basically you have these twin boys, these twin children. They get abducted by aliens and then are humanoids. But aren't they already humanoid if they're human? Wouldn't that make them a humanoid-ish? I guess the logic is, oh, well, humans are just humans, but humanoids are different. And it makes them stronger and like more superpower villain or hero. So we got two brothers. They're both twin brothers. One of them has a goatee. Kale has a goatee. They're both starting with C's. Okay, Cade and Kale, you can tell the difference between the two because Kale is evil, and there's an L in his name, and there's an L in evil, versus Cade. He has no goatee. He's the good one. And there's a D in good. That's how you can tell the difference between the two. Oh boy, Kale kidnaps like 3 guys and then is like keeping them in his basement and shoots them. Oh man, filmmaking really is his passion. Neil Breen's passion. Oh jeez, oh boy. There's a plot about like virtual reality and programmable virtual reality and DNA. Just kept coming up, and I'm just like, this VR world is this forest area. This is fine and dandy dandy stuff. What isn't fine is the values don't match in the green screen work. Like, while I was watching this movie, I was like, okay, this plot is really slow. Each scene takes like 30 seconds longer than it should. And the acting is amateur, to say the least. So let's go back to the VR virtual room, the little forest area. Okay, the darkest part of the background image chosen is a navy blue, is like a dark navy blue. White, so that's fine. However, Neil Breen's green screen asset that he used and put on this background, 2D background, he does not match lighting. Like the black is too black, the white is too white. The lighting is coming from a different light source than within the image itself. And this happens a lot. There's a lot of scenes of Cade and Kale talking, and this is pretty simply done with a, you know, one of those cuts. You have 2 plates, you got two videos, both on green screen. You got some plates. Okay, and Cade was put behind the layer of Kale, and so you can have the little green screen slow motion since it wasn't captured at the right frame rate. Slow motion, add to touch Kale's back, and it's like, oh geez, dude, this is rough. Okay. Also, during those scenes, when flipping between characters, the background does not flip, so this is very disorienting. I would prefer if the background would flip so I have a sense of the space. But this is a Neil Breen movie. Jeez, like, wow, this is ambition. Filmmaking is his passion. Oh man, filmmaking is such passion that he doesn't learn lighting. He doesn't learn how to match a light source to the background image, okay? So many instances of lighting just not matching. It doesn't match the environment. I can tell you're not in real space during the sequences, but the parts where he was in the environment did look good because he was in the environment with some actors. This setting reminded me like of a college, so my theory is at Neil Breen. I looked him up. His profession is a filmmaker and an actor, but it doesn't show anything else. And I'm like, he must be like a college professor or something. How does he have access to this entire college campus at night and stuff? There's a lot of sweeping shots of what is obviously a computer lab room. And it's like, oh, this is the evil. They're coming for us. Who's coming? I don't know. I lost the plot at some point. I had to stop watching this movie twice. I stopped watching it about 35 minutes in, and then about 57 minutes in. So I had 3 watching sessions, and each time I looked up Twisted Pair to like find the movie and such, and instead I found the Wikipedia article for Twisted Pair cables, and instead I decided to read that in between finishing Twisted Pair the movie. And you know what I learned? You know what a Twisted Pair is? First of all, cables, you could twist them at different rates in between like different like twists within like a meter. So it's like twist per meter. And if it's like different in like a bunch of twisted pairs within like one big old pair, if you have a bunch of different lengths of twists per minute, then it's less interference than if it's like every cable is untwisted, or if they twist at like the same twist per minute. Also, the guy who invented this, Alexander Graham Bell, okay, this guy founded AT&T, the actual company, the phone company. He founded telecommunications, and it's like, oh boy, this is all so fascinating and interesting, cabling and such. And I learned more about him. His mother was deaf, and that's what caused him to go into acoustics, learn more about stuff because of his practical life and such. And I'm like, oh my god, this guy's such more interesting than the movie Twisted Pair. Okay, I had to continue watching Twisted Pair after I realized I was going into a Twisted Pair, like the cables, what is that, rabbit hole? I'm just like clicking links, like Twisted Pair cables on like Wikipedia. Oh, it's that guy. Oh, what's this guy? Oh, this, you know, like what are those rabbit holes? I was finding myself getting caught in that, so I had to go back to the movie. And it's just as confusing. I like the little light trick where it's just like one ray of light, and then the actor and actresses just walk up to this one ray of light and their face is the only thing that's lit, and it's like, oh boy. What is happening? So, his Cade is the good boy. You know what's interesting about this movie? Cade, like, is in an open area and finds a woman. Hey, she starts ambushing her, and she's like, no, I have a boyfriend. And then like, he's like, you're gonna meet me back here at 8. And then immediately it's like, oh, she wasn't here at 8. And so he follows her home, breaks into her house, and just starts like holding her down, and she's actually like really struggling. There was a good tension building with the freaking Cade's the good boy, Cade and this chick who's just cooking in the kitchen, and I guess has some sort of mind control over her, because then after that they are dating. And then also Kale has a girl too, and they're all doing drugs and alcohol. It doesn't say which drugs and alcohol. It's just like, oh yeah, I just love drugs and alcohol. I don't want you no more. Leave me alone. And they're like being an abusive relationship. And it's like, oh boy, what is this? This is weird. This is so weird. You're just gonna like make this girl your girlfriend, and then we have to see the twins. Freaking Kale is like still shooting these dudes in the basement, by the way. Yeah, he's kidnapped some dudes in a basement and he's just shooting them, but not with like actual, there's no blood packs. There's the actors when they get shot turning away from the camera, so there is no blood. The camera, oh boy, the gun is just one shot. It's just some like really interesting graphic. It's like a fire gun video game graphic from like the 80s. And it happens every time he shoots a gun. It's like, oh boy, all these scenes are way too long. All these scenes underexpressed. All the acting on Neil Breen's part, so great, epic. So much voiceover with him just like lurking around in the darkness. Also, there's him being in a courtyard, in a college courtyard. It's all taking place at a college, except for when it's at somebody's house. So we got the college courtyard. And we have Kale's chick is talking to Cade. It's like, where's your goatee? And just like starts like slapping him. It's like, I never had a beard. Ah! And then Cade gives the chick money, and Cade's chick sees Cade give Kale's chick money. It was like, have a nice, safe place. And she's just like standing there like sad. And it's like, okay. But I think it's really weird. Kale is like, you know, looking at these dudes, still shooting them up in like underneath the basement. But Cade and Kale's chick are like, oh, I love you. Oh, I love you. Ah, I love you. And then they shoot each other and then they dye each other's arms. Okay. Oh, we don't have enough speed. Oh, make it, copy that, make it 100. Oh, then negative 100. Oh, then 100. Then negative 100. Okay. And now it's reverse in regular, reverse regular. And it does a little looping effect. And it's like noticeable. I know what's happening here. This movie gave me some hope that I could make a film. Cause, geez, the plot sucks. I gotta be honest with you. It's so hard to follow. They change locations too often. It's like, oh, I'm not immersed in this world at all. I'm just laughing at how terrible it is. And I'm not a fan of Neil Breen movie, this one at least. This guy just like, I don't know, has no technical skill. Well, he might have some. He's an editor too. Man, I don't know. Like, his technical skills are definitely not on par with like people like doing movies, professional movies. Like, this might have to be one of the most weirdly ambitious but also terrible films I've seen. Like, I appreciate the ambition, I appreciate the drive to create a product. I don't appreciate this product being the one that came out. It's just weird, and a lot of the stuff isn't rememberable. Like, I felt like I didn't get anything out of this movie, but the end, Neil Breen is talking to the audience, is like, remember, this world will become virtual reality. And it's like, yeah, so some people are gonna wanna stay out in the world. Like, you know, nature still exists, it will still exist. As long as nature exists, there will be people who want to go out into nature more than they want to live in virtual reality. So I'm not scared of this future. Okay, boomer. He's 64 years old. As of this recording, I looked it up. He's actually a boomer. Like, he's born in 58, I don't know. He's 2 years too early. In order to be a boomer, you have to be born between 60 and 64. Or, no, it's 44? I don't know. He's a boomer. Who cares about the math? He's a boomer. His movie's booming. It's so booming. So boomtastic, man. I don't know how else to describe this movie, other than the lighting sucks. I've already said that, though. It's like the best thing I could say about this movie, it has ambition, it has drive, but the actors and the actresses, they just seem like they're phoning it in. All right, let me tell you just a little example of the amazing acting skills. Oh my goodness, wow, that's so crazy. Wow, that's terror. Wow, Neil Breen, they're coming. What? They're coming? How could they be coming? I'm a little expressing more than what they're saying. I think my natural way of speaking is more expressive than the actors and the actresses in this movie. Somebody who spent time to learn lighting, like Neil Breen definitely has not learned. I'm insulted by this movie's presence, but it's so fun to just look at because it's so bad. It's so bad, it's good. It's one of those things. But I just think it could have been a little bit worse in order to be funnier to me. So I gotta give this movie. Is it worse than Velma? It's not worse than Velma. Velma, it can't be worse than Velma. So I gotta give this like a 3.6 out of 10. If you like this review, watch another one. YouTube really likes that. You can also like, comment, subscribe, share this video with everyone you know. The ultimate goal of this channel is for me to become an expert movie reviewer. So if I haven't reviewed on the channel, there's a chance I haven't even seen it at all. If you'd like to request a movie in the comments below, you can do that. You can fast track a movie review request to patreon.com/ASApresents for $20 a month for one movie review per 1 month, or $3 a month for how to draw Pokemon tutorials. All at patreon.com/ASApresents. Also, 250 vlogs that are up there on the $3 tier. So you can go there, and if you'd like to help support the daily grindiness of all these daily movie reviews, you can go to this link tree. It really helps the daily grind. So you can go here, and until next time, I've been Sound Saw. I'll see you later, my Saw Croutons Bacon Bits.